the king. The king of kings. Ding ding. Ding ding on your knees, dog. Ding ding. Ding ding. Ding ding. Ding ding. All hail. Ding ding. Bow down to the liver king. Ding 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 ding. Bow down to the liver king. Ding ding ding. All right, so internet's blowing up with it. Even Rolling Stone is covering this. I'm like, damn, Liver King is that big? All right. I am a self-proclaimed lover of his supplements. I love his supplements. I believe that they are great. I definitely felt the difference when taking his supplements. And I knew about the power of liver and kidney and heart and all these other different organs that you can eat from animals. I knew the healing power of them. I knew. My doctor deals with a lot of herbs and desiccated organs, or what they would call dried organs. So I felt the power and the healing of them, and I decided to try Ancestral. And for a while, I never knew he owned them until I saw him in an interview. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, yo, this, you know what I mean? However, I must say this. Not for one damn second did I believe that he was natural. The only people that believed that he was natural were probably kids. And what I mean by kids are, no, anyone that believed that he was natural were young guys and ladies that are in their teens that are just discovering fitness and bodybuilding, and for people that don't follow the sport whatsoever. Because I noticed that, see, when I was younger, when I first got into it, around 18, 19, I remember my uncle telling me, like, they're all on it. And he knew, because he was in the bodybuilding. Like, he wanted to compete and do stuff and everything. And, you know, I remember going through a book and him telling me, and I'm like, wait. So I'm like, him? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, him? Yeah. He's like, they're all on it. Like, but they don't tell you. You know, they have to sell these supplements. They make a lot of money through that. And they may take these supplements while they also have this, but, you know, these are the drugs are the reason why that they look the way they do. You know, and any of you have been following bodybuilding for a very long time, or for a while, you know, you know, like, just freaks are, they are extremely rare. Natural freaks are extremely rare. And one of them was Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, he didn't get on gear until like halfway through his career. That rhymed, like to play at the game. Bars! He didn't, you know. And once he got on, he started destroying everybody. So, you know, you can find it. You can find, he was losing to, what's his name? That funny Australian dude. Superman. He's with, why can't I remember his name? Why can't I remember? Y'all know who I'm talking about. You in the bodybuilding, you know. But, so, you know, he was exposed with some emails by Derek Place More Dates. I actually binge watched Derek for a while. I haven't watched him in a few months. I got to jump on that video that he did. It's like an hour long, but I watched a few other shorter videos, and we have the article here from Rolling Stone, and like the emails, they like show exactly what he was taking. And in there's nothing about all this raw liver and, raw eggs and bull testicles and all this other stuff. Now, not saying that he doesn't, eat them in addition to that with his diet, but it's just nuts. It's one of these things. You know what I mean? He did all he could to build his brand, and he was a phenomenon. Like he really, at least in the fitness industry, and and he seems like a really nice guy, and that you can be, like when I was discussing, the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank's passing, there's people that try to talk bad about people, like they're like, oh, I heard he was an a-hole or whatever. I'm like, look, I heard he has a temper, but you can have a temper, which is a bad thing about your personality, and overall be a good person. You know what I'm saying? You can have bad aspects to your personality. He seems like that type. Like he did everything he could to build his brand, but he's probably like a good family man and dad and all these other things, and businessman definitely, and all these other things. But he did lie about that. And the whole thing is that, to me, as a person that's watching these people do this thing, there's people, you go to their profile and they'll be like lifetime natty, lifetime natural. They'll say this stuff. Why put it in your profile? I get you get all these fake props for being fake natty, but why? Just leave it alone, because most people know that most people are on the juice. Like, this is that open secret, is that, that secret that everybody knows, from major athletes of all types, from boxing to NFL to NBA, rugby, everything in between, bodybuilding, you ever watch CrossFit championships? You take a look at that. I mean, come on. It's an open, everybody knows, except the inexperienced. And those are the ones that they capitalize on, because those are the ones that will buy their supplements to look like them. And it's based on false pretenses. That's what bothers me so much about that. It's like, look, just don't say shit and sell your supplements. And people will probably be like, yeah, he's on, but he probably takes some of this too. I mean, like even bodybuilders, I saw Ronnie Coleman going over like his supplements, and we all knew, of course, doing the gear. But at the same time, he had different, vitamin D. He had all the other things that he needed that are part of the puzzle, But I just, I think he had come at Joe Rogan for saying that he wasn't natural. And, like, my whole thing is this. If you're going to lie about it, please do not push the lie that hard. If Joe Rogan says you're not natural, leave it alone. Just keep it moving. But my whole thing is, don't lie in the first place. Never lie in the first place. The people that lie, you start lying and you forget your lies that you told, and I know people like this. I know, and they're not my friends, but I know people like this, and I see them here and there. And people talk about behind your back all the time. All the time. Like, if you're a liar, people know you are. That's the thing. Except for maybe the new people that meet you. But everybody else that's known you for years knows you're a liar. That's one thing I think a lot of liars don't know. That we know. We talk about you behind your back all the time, whenever your name is brought up. But I'm assuming he'll continue to be successful and, this and that. And, he'll pass in the wind, just like a lot of other scandals that, come across. But, I hope he's learned something from it. It is what it is. And that's my take on it, because a lot of you know that I'm into bodybuilding, I'm into fitness. I may not be the specimen that I once was, but I'm working my way toward that. But I'm just telling you, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to y'all about anything that I'm taking or not taking. When I'm telling y'all what I take, I'm telling you what I take. Scout's honor. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And I refuse. I refuse to go the drug route, no matter what. I had low T at one time, and I got it back through fasting and through supplements. And I remember when it came back. I was like, whoa, if you know what I mean. I remember one time where I was just experimenting with diet. And at the time, I believe I had low T because certain things weren't happening in the morning like they used to when I was a teenager. Guys know what I'm talking about. Or not even, like, even all the way through my 30s. And, you know, and then all of a sudden I started realizing, like, I'm just waking up, just chilling. And I remember this. I remember I started every day I started eating, just experimenting with diet. It had nothing to do with trying to get testosterone. It was just, I remember eating 1 cup of brown rice with 1 can of black beans every day. And I would make it with some chicken, better than bouillon, organic chicken flavoring, bouillon, whatever. And I was loving it. And I would say the 3rd day in, all of a sudden, everything was working again every morning. And at the time, I didn't realize it, but zinc, even though I knew this, I didn't know that black beans were very high in zinc. Zinc is very crucial to testosterone production as well as a bunch of other things. Get it? So a lot of you are jumping on this, TRT or whatever else, and you think you need it when you don't really need it. The guy in the white jacket with the stethoscope told you you do, so you believe it, and then you're a customer for life. You have to use it for the rest of your life. When you could have just eaten a few black beans and you'd be back to normal like me. So for me, that worked. But also, I ran into the problem later because I didn't know that was what was. But I knew it did something to my libido. And, when I started seeing my doctor, he was like explaining to me certain things and everything was back to normal. And we were talking about, he was like, oh yeah, because they're real high in zinc. So you were probably low in zinc at that time in your life. And, because I never had any problems in the bedroom, but it was just in the morning when every guy knows what's there every morning. When that's not there, it's usually a problem. You're either highly stressed or, you're low on nutrients. So see that simple thing like that. 3 days in a row of eating a can of black beans with rice, all of a sudden, I'm back to attention again. But no, some of you go and get on this expensive drugs that have side effects and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, nutrition is so key. You guys have no idea how key nutrition is. Nutrition is key to a lot of things. Your diet and nutrition is so pinnacle. It's at the top. It's at the top. Okay? So, anyway, I digress. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. And it's one of those things. Look, there's certain guys, and there's one guy in particular, I'm waiting. I'm not going to even say his name. I'm waiting for him to be exposed. It's going to happen sooner or later, or he's going to admit it sooner or later. And I'm like, come on, man. So it is what it is. And I'm done. 10 million subscribers. Woo.